Mindful Life Practice community.
Okay, perfect. So we are moving through our gentle flow. It is not that different than, I think this is the first week that this has changed names from foundation to gentle, and really the intention behind that was just to make it, I think foundation's flow made it seem like it was for beginners. Gentle's for everyone. So we're gonna start our practice down into a child's pose. I just wanna use my fancy new bolster and show it all off. I got a bolster today. So you can be with your knees apart. You can be with your knees together. You're gonna bring your body down onto your mat. And I'm just gonna snuggle onto my bolster. Drop into stillness and take some deep rounds of breath in and out. Kind of settling into stillness. Maureen and I were talking the other night about how when you miss the opening part of yoga, you kind of miss a key part of the session, don't you? It's a moment when you drop into stillness, you drop into centeredness, and you start to let go of whatever is going on. And I've been thinking a lot about this intention, using our practice as an opportunity to let go, letting go of whatever we're carrying, letting go of the thoughts, letting go of our worries, and connecting to the present moment. We do this with beginning by connecting to our breath. And then we're going to use our breath to start to connect to some movement. So you're just going to gently start walking your palms over to the right. You're getting a stretch through the left side body. And then we're going to take the palms all the way through center and then stretch them the other way, so over to the left. Coming all the way back through center. And then together, let's start to move a little bit with our breath. So when you inhale, you're going to come all the way up into a tabletop pose. And then when you exhale, sit the hips back on the heels. Keep going like this. Just letting your own breath cue the movement. And I forgot to say, by the way, congratulations is in order to everyone who's made it to the end of their 30 days, the end of their 60 days. Can you believe that we've been doing this yoga on Zoom thing for like almost 75 days? How crazy is that? The time has just flown. I know I'm super grateful for this community. It's something that has really kept me grounded throughout the turbulence of what's been going on. Let's take one more inhale, come all the way up into a table. And then we're gonna start to flow with our breath here. So inhaling, lifting your chin, finding your cow. And then exhaling, curling the spine, tucking the chin. And so we are going to be on our knees for a little bit in the beginning of this practice. So if you have sensitive kneecaps, feel free to have a blanket underneath. I actually just went to sweep out some of the props at a yoga studio that's closing, and I bought Yasser a very fancy blanket, so I picked it up for him. So he'll have a fancy blanket soon, but any blanket works if you don't have a yoga blanket or a cushion. And then bring your body all the way back into neutral. Take your left arm up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. And then thread your left arm underneath the right, landing onto your left cheek, your left shoulder. Coming all the way back up through center. And then we will twist the opposite way. So taking your right arm up towards the sky, big breath in. Threading your right arm under, landing onto your right cheek, your right shoulder. Coming all the way back up through center. Taking your palms now onto the mat and take your right leg straight up behind you. And then we'll lift the opposite arm. So we're lifting the left arm. And if your balance feels a little bit off, you can leave both palms on the mat. It's okay. On your inhale, stay long. And then on your exhale, curl your elbow in to meet your knee. And then let's take 3 more of these. 2 more. And then 1 more. And then inhale, lengthen. Land your left palm. Take your left toes off the mat. You're gonna start to bring your right hip to stack upon your left. And then take a big inhale, lift your right arm up. So this is just kind of a more accessible version of half moon pose. So normally you're on your foot with this pose. Here we're on the knee. It kind of helps you find a bit more balance and experience the shape without like fully committing to it, you know? And then we're gonna land the right foot on the mat and then just lift all the way up into kind of a warrior 2 thing. And then take an inhale, land your right fingertips on the right leg, and then lift your left arm and then just stay here. This is your gate pose. And slowly come all the way up. Land your palms onto the mat. Land your left knee and your right knee. And then we'll take the opposite side. So extend through your left leg. When you're ready, lifting the opposite arm, breathing in, and then exhaling, curling. Taking 3 more. And then 1 more. And then inhale, extend. Land your right palm. Turn your right toes off the mat. Find your balance in this variation of half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Land your left foot. Lift all the way up into a warrior two. Press down through the outer edge of the left foot. And then lift your right arm up and start breathing into the right side body. Getting a lateral stretch on this side. And then come all the way back, land both palms on the mat again. And let's bring our body into our first downward facing dog. So bend the knees, lift the hips up and back, bend through one knee and then bend through the next, just kind of rocking out through the heels. Maybe giving your head a little rock no, giving a little wiggle yes. And then bend through your knees, take your gaze forward. You're gonna step your feet up to meet your hands. Take an inhale to halfway lift. Take an exhale, bring your body back into your fold. And then inhale, sweep your hands all the way up, circle them overhead, gathering in energy and light. And draw your palms into your heart center, connect your thumbs to your heartbeat, and take 3 deep breaths. Okay, we're gonna do a tiny bit of free movement. So you're gonna rock, land your hands, and then just kind of rock and move in any way that you feel like right now. I do this sometimes in my classes, and I'm a grade 1 teacher. As you guys know, I teach 6-year-old kids. And something that I notice about 6-year-old kids is that they don't have this awareness of like what's normal and not normal, and they will be like standing in the line to go to the library and they'll just be like this. It's not like adults. We feel like we need to stand straight and properly. They just kind of listen to their intuition and they do what feels good. So take a few more rounds of breath, just doing what feels good, flopping whatever way you want to. And then take one more. And then I want you to land in stillness and feel as though your torso, it's like this snow globe. It's been shook up, and all this snow is spiraling around. And then as you drop into stillness, the snow settles and the water clears. Snow settles, the water clears. Now take a big inhale. Imagine it's like a glass of water being filled up with water. And then exhale out the mouth, release. We'll take 3 half Surya Namaskar, 3 half sun salutations. On the inhalation, sweep both palms up towards the sky, planted firmly through the feet. Exhale, bend the knees a lot and forward fold. Take an inhale to halfway lift, lengthen through the spine, reach through the crown of the head, and then exhale, let go. And then on your inhale, sweep your palms all the way up. And then exhale your palms at heart center. And you're gonna do this 2 more times, and I'm not going to cue your breath. I want you to move with your own breath. Do not worry about messing up. There's no such thing. Move how your breath moves you. And when you're finished your second round, we'll all meet up one more time in that Tadasana, that Samasthiti. So when I say samastitihi, it just means hands at heart center. Take an inhale, sweep both hands one more time up towards the sky. And then once again, exhale into a forward fold. And then take an inhale, sweep, halfway lift. And then exhale, lower, land your palms, leave your right foot where it is, step your left foot back, and then just do some little rocks forward and back. And then land onto your left knee. Lift up, and I want you to reach both palms in front of you today. So we're mixing it up a tiny bit, reaching in front. Feel that your rib cage is kind of knitting in, so you're not dumping through your low back, you're supporting your low back. And now I want you to imagine that you're almost pulling back a bow and arrow, okay? So you're gonna pull back with the right hand. You're spiraling towards the right knee here. So it's a closed twist. Take an inhale. And then hinge forward, land your left palm on the inside of your right foot. Nice, yeah, you got it. So it's just a different way to enter a pose that we do often. And how does the way that you enter it change the way that you experience it? If you want to swim your right arm back and take this into a quad stretch, go ahead. Knowing that there is no hierarchy of poses here. There isn't one that's better than the next. You are the guru, right? You know your body better than anyone. And if you have that foot, slowly and mindfully release it. Take your right palm to the front of the mat. And then walk your fingertips back, inviting length over the right leg. And let's stay here for 5 breaths. Really dropping into this stretch. Finding what feels good. Can you find the middle in this shape? The Goldilocks position. Middle between effort and ease. The middle between strength and surrender. Walk your palms back to the front of the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, get really, really strong through your palms. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Find your strong plank, and if you want to be on the knees, go ahead. This is gentle flow. I'm not going to make you hold a proper plank if you don't want to. And then slowly draw your elbows back, lowering all the way down onto the mat. Walk your fingertips off the side of the mat, finding a 90-degree angle with the elbows. And let's breathe our body through some back bends. So inhaling, lifting your heart up, and then exhaling, lower. And I'm going to tell you why we're on the fingertips. So typically you'll have your hands flat down when you're entering back bends. And when you're on the fingertips, it means you have less of an opportunity to really push yourself deeper than you're meant to go. And this back bend is mostly being initiated by the strength in your back body. So basically you'll be less prone to injury, you'll be safer. Take one more. And then slowly lower down. Plant your palms underneath the shoulders. Push up through a table. And then bring yourself all the way back into your Adho Mukha Savasana, your downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Bend through your knees, gaze forward, and then just step your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep your palms all the way up to stand. Hands at heart center. So we're going to take that same flow on the opposite side. Inhale, circle your palms up, upward mountain pose. Exhale, waterfall your body forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Leave your palms on the mat. Step your right foot back. I don't know if you noticed, I'm using a lot more Sanskrit these days. It's because I'm working on a yoga teacher training manual and I'm looking at all these pages about asanas, about poses, and I'm being reminded of all these words. Land your right knee on the mat. If you need to cushion it, go ahead. And then lift your arms up at shoulder height. Kind of knit your rib cage in a little bit, support your spine so you're not just like pushing your belly out. And then grab hold of that invisible bow and arrow thing and draw it back, back, back with your left arm spiraling, chest open. So your left fingertips go back, your right fingertips go forward. And then enter your twist from this method. So landing your right palm on the mat. How is that changing the pose? What are you feeling within it? And then if you want to deepen this shape, you may take it into a quad stretch, finding the middle. The middle ground between effort and ease. And as the body finds the middle, the mind finds the moment. If you have the foot, just release it. Let's land the palms and we're going to walk the fingertips back. Ardha Chandrasana, your half splits. Take 5 breaths. The piece of the middle. Is there wisdom in the middle? Is there wisdom in the present moment? Walk your fingertips back. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Once again, stepping back to your plank. Holding either your plank with knees lifted or your knees lowered, either or. And then flowing through that vinyasa, lowering all the way down. Inhaling the heart up. Exhaling back down. And then let's shift our body up through a table and then just come to sit on the heels for a moment. All right, so we're going to take a variation of camel pose. It's called dancing camel. And I just find that it's like a more accessible way to get into this shape. It's kind of fun. You move with the rhythm of the breath. So from seated on the heels, it's also good because it engages our quads a little bit. So you're going to leave your right fingertips behind your feet. And you are going to engage your quads and lift your hips up and reach your left fingertips back. Yeah, you got it. And then landing back down slowly. And then taking it the opposite way. So fingertips, lifting up, and then lowering. And if this immediately does not feel right for your back, then don't worry about it. Just take a break. Take seated. You know, the rule is always that yoga is not supposed to look good, it's supposed to feel good. And use your intuition on that. If you have a sharp pain, back off. And if it's just discomfort, can you sit with that discomfort and see if it can become your teacher? Take one more of each side. And then in seated, we're going to land the palms and let this pose be our neutralizer. Before walking the palms forward, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, coming back into your down dog. So we're going to take one more standing flow. Why don't we bend the knees and gaze forward? We're just going to walk the feet up to meet the hands. Take an in-breath, half lift. Take an out-breath, forward fold. And then inhale, lift your hands all the way up. Take your palms in heart center. I'm just going to turn around so you can better see me and I'm not hitting this plant. All right, so we're going to step all the way back into a warrior two. So you're going to step your left foot all the way back. Left foot forms that 90-degree angle. Your right heel is almost intersecting the inner arch. And then you have an extension through your arms from fingertips all the way through fingertips. So common misalignments I see in this pose, people reach forward like they're reaching for something. I want you to draw your spine back so that it's stacking straight up. And then soften your shoulders and settle your gaze. So something I learned super interesting this week in my studying is that I used to always think that warrior 1, 2, and 3 were named because of their importance or their point that they should be in a sequence. And what I learned interestingly is that actually the numbers correspond to the amount of limbs you have extended. So I'll get into that more in a moment, but just now in warrior 2, you have 1 and you have 2. So that's where that comes from, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Take an inhale, reverse your warrior. Let's move like water and end like fire. And then when you exhale, come forward, right elbow, right thigh, left fingertips reach forward. Can you take 3 more of these flows? Inhaling, reversing. And then exhaling, extended side angle. So moving gently and smoothly, but ending with intention. And then take one more. And then come all the way up into your warrior 2. Lengthen through your right leg. Walk your left foot in, so shorten your stance. And then you're going to hinge forward and come into your Trikonasana, your triangle pose. So your right arm is alongside your right leg and your left arm is extending up towards the sky. And then if you can, you're going to shift weight onto your right fingertips and your right foot and bring yourself into Ardha Chandrasana, which is the pose that we did on our knee at the beginning, if you know what I'm talking about. Knowing that it's okay to fall. Take one more breath. And then step your left foot all the way back. Now this time you're going to step back so that your hips are almost squaring towards the short edge of your mat. Your right knee is stacking above your right ankle. So now we're in Virabhadrasana 1, just because I want to finish this explanation. So anyway, arms reach overhead in warrior 1. And traditionally in Ashtanga yoga, you have your hands high-fiving together in this pose. So if you've done yoga in like Ashtanga classes or maybe in an ashram in India, you might have done it with your hands together. And the reason why vinyasa has kind of moved away from that, or at least why I don't do it, is because I find that that puts a lot of tension in your shoulders. And I find the space is better for me and for a lot of students. But anyway, hands were originally zipped together. So that makes warrior one. It's like one limb extending out of you. Anyway, okay, take a breath in. And now maybe you start reaching forward into your warrior three. So get it? Warrior three, 3 limbs. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I thought that was a fun and cool fact. I don't even do this pose that often with my arms extended. I find that for me, hands at heart center work best. Just because it brings my energy to my midline, helps me stay grounded. But like I say often, in my opinion, there's no right or wrong way to do any pose. It's just what works for you. But yes, the original warrior three had your arms extended overhead like this. Take 3, take 2, and then 1, tilt all the way up to stand. I want you to land your left foot. Close your eyes if you can, and feel the differentiation between when 1 foot is supporting you and when 2 feet are supporting you. And how nice does it feel to have the ground beneath your feet? Holding you balanced here. And then we'll let the eyelids open. And then take that flow on the opposite side. So your left foot stays, right foot steps all the way back, hips are open, finding yourself once again into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Left knee is stacking, shoulders are softening, gaze is settling on a drishti point. It's funny, many of the things that, the great sages taught in yoga, they're things that we do in our life without even realizing it. Like I remember as a child when I was trying to balance, teachers and parents would say to me, look at one spot that's not moving, right? That's what a drishti point is, a point of focus. It's gazing at one spot that isn't moving. So that's kind of cool. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale into extended side angle. 3 more breaths. But moving with your own breath. And then take 1 more. All right, lift all the way back up. Nice work. Lengthen through your left leg, walk your right foot in, hinge forward, and then take your left arm alongside your left leg. I think sometimes when we hear slower yoga, we think it's easier. But slower does not often mean easier, does it? It sometimes means harder. You really feel your legs start to shake. It can be challenging to find stillness for such a long period of time. If you like, shift weight onto your left foot, land your left fingertips, lift your right leg up. And I want to tell you guys something. This is my favorite pose. But I recently read my journal from the first 30-day yoga challenge I ever did, which was 10 years ago. And on day 4, I was writing like, I hate half moon, it's so hard. Slowly tilt up to stand. So my point in saying that is that Rome wasn't built in a day, right? It takes time to develop the muscle memory. It takes time to develop the strength. So try not to judge your experience, just experience it. Step your right foot back, 45-degree angle, bend through the left knee. Finding your Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. You might like to high five the hands together. Actually, I think I've had teachers interlace the palms, release index finger and thumb. That feels a bit better for me than the high five. And then start to shift weight forward. I'm gonna keep my palms interlaced just to challenge myself. And lengthen your right leg behind you. This is your Warrior 3. Just stay for 3. For 2. And then on 1, tilt all the way up to stand. Let's do 1 more, just simple balancing pose, okay? So finding our Vrikshasana, our tree. Let your left foot be your root. Lift onto your right tippy toes. Open your right knee to the side. Land your right foot either on the ankle, the shin, maybe all the way up on the thigh. Take your palms at heart center. And see if you can be active through that left leg. There is this tendency to just kind of push and chill. And I want you to see if you can almost zip in that left leg and then notice the difference. Is there wisdom in the middle? Is there wisdom in the present moment? Release the right foot. And then we'll take the opposite side. Finding your drishti point, your point of focus. Take 1 more breath. And then land your left foot all the way back down. We're going to make our way down towards the mat onto our spine. Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Take an exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, land the palms, make your way back to a down dog. If you want to take 1 more vinyasa, go ahead. And then we're all going to meet on the knees. Just shift the hips to one side. Slowly come all the way back. Step your feet in, hands alongside the hips, and take a deep breath in. Lift your hips up. Roll your shoulder blades under, moving into 1 more back bend, your bridge. Your pinky side of your hands is pressing down towards the mat. And then let's release our hands and then slowly lower all the way back down. Release your shoulders. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Push your right palm into your right thigh. Maybe staying here. Maybe lifting off, interlacing the palms on the back of the left thigh or on the top of the left shin. Sorry, I realized I just gave left twice. I don't know which ankle you have crossed over. Just go with it. Both my parents are here. They've both heard me mix up my rights and lefts for my entire life. I'm so lucky to have both my parents here, both my parents supporting me. To be honest, neither of them were really yoga people before I started this business. And they have become yoga people to support me. And I think their time is just one of the best gifts they can ever give. So thank you. Release your left foot or your right or whatever it is. Swap it out. Doesn't really matter. Just do the opposite side. And at the beginning of this practice, we set an intention to let go. How are you feeling at the start of this practice compared to now at the end? Is there anything that has lifted off of you? Any space that's been created? Has anything shifted? Landing your right foot or your left foot, landing both feet. Open your arms. Drop your knees over to the right, and then take your gaze over to the left. Right palm lands on the left thigh. Taking one more round of breath. And then opening your right arm, coming all the way back through center, and then sending a twist in the opposite way. And if there's any last movements or poses or shapes that would seal your practice, feel free to take them now. I'm just going to come into a seated meditation on my new bolster. So you can finish your practice when you're ready in any shape. Shavasana, meditation, whatever you prefer. And oftentimes at the end of practice, I will lead you through a breath meditation or a visualization meditation. This weekend, I've gotten really into Ram Dass's meditations. I don't know if you know him. He was a very famous yoga teacher, passed away around the time of Christmas. But he has these beautiful recordings, and he does a lot of mantra meditation. And what a mantra meditation is it just repeats the same saying over and over again. And one that I've really loved this weekend is I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. What does that mean? As you cultivate loving awareness, you're fostering a sense of love and a sense of compassion for everything in the world around you. I am lovingly aware of the ant crawling across my floor right now. I'm lovingly aware of the chill of the air conditioning. And I'm lovingly aware of me. So I invite you for the next minute or so, if you want to explore this mantra meditation, you repeat in your head, I am loving awareness. Just exploring that for a few more breaths. When you're ready, letting go of that mantra meditation, returning to normal. Breathing in, breathing out. Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela. Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela, Ishkavamobu Lela. Give your body a little wake up wiggle. If you're on your spine, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight little hug. In this hug, acknowledge yourself for showing up here. You made this your priority. And that action speaks so loud about how you are prioritizing your well-being at a time when you need it the most. And if this is day 30 of your yoga challenge, then you really knocked it out of the park. So thank yourself for that, because I know firsthand how hard it can be. To stay committed. It really is a huge accomplishment. And then let's make our way all the way up into seated. Gather our palms at our heart center. Lengthen up through the spine, soften the shoulders. And we'll finish with an Om sound if you would like to join. We'll inhale, exhale, and then inhale through to make the Om. So taking a breath in, breath out, breath in. Thank you guys so much for sharing the space and the practice. I truly can't thank you enough. It is you guys showing up that has kept me going throughout this tough time. The light in me sees and honors the light in you, and I'm looking forward to another 30 days if you're staying with us, with our day off tomorrow. Om Shanti, 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 peace, namaste.
The Mindful Life Practice Community.